every child, regardless of background.
allows them
Walks with faith. Dreams cut short.
Responsibility to reach their fullest potential.
Beyond the primary,
excessive school
Implement.
assignments.
Hello, and welcome to a special production highlighting the creative voices of children across the Eastern Caribbean who participated in this year's edition of UNICEF's Eastern Caribbean Area's 1 Minute for My Rights video competition. My name is Azara.
And my name is Kaylin. This year's competition, where you sent us short videos highlighting your rights, is particularly significant, as UNICEF joins children worldwide to commemorate the 35th anniversary of the Convention of the Rights of the Child. This milestone is not just a celebration, it's a call to action for children to assert their rights and for decision makers to ensure those rights are upheld.
We are thrilled to have you with us for this exciting showcase, featuring incredible talent and powerful messages from young advocates across our region.
But before we dive in, let's hear a brief message from Mr. Peterbolt, the outgoing UNICEF representative for the Eastern Caribbean.
2024 is a special year. This year, we celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Convention of the Rights of the Child. And this is a special convention. It's the most ratified convention globally. And it's a convention for children everywhere across the world. A convention that protects children, that supports their education, their health, and their participation. And a lot has been achieved in the past 35 years, especially also in this region. Like, for example, we saw a drop in under 5 mortality rate by 60% since 2000. We have near universal access to education. And we also have access to clean water and sanitation. But, as we all know, a lot has yet to be done as well. If we look at education, for example, despite the access, still too many children leave school not being able to properly read or write, or have the skills they need to move on in society or in their jobs. We see an increasing occurrence of violence across the Caribbean that is really concerning and needs to be addressed at all levels. Coming out of COVID, we experienced challenges with mental health, and some surveys even say that 7 out of 10 children are or have experienced issues with mental health. And then lastly, the existential threat of climate change. Every year, situations seem to get worse with increasing intensity of storms, heat, droughts, and rainfall. Yet there's a lot to be done still to keep the promise that we together made 35 years ago, the promise to all children. And to keep that promise to all children, we need to work together. We need to work together as United Nations agencies. We need to work together as international communities, development partners, with governments, with civil society, with private sector, but also, and especially also, with children. Article 12 of the Convention of the Rights of the Child speaks about the right of a child to express his or her opinion. And we're here today to see this right in action, to see the contributions that you made to this competition, which we called 1 Minute for My Rights. And you have contributed. And yes, it was fun to watch your contributions. We really appreciated your creativity, your innovativeness, and your provocativeness also. Because we know the issues that you're talking about are not easy to talk about. They're not easy issues to deal with. But you talk about them and express them with optimism and hope. And this, in turn, gives us hope and optimism to move forward on the promise that we made 35 years ago, and keeping that promise for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that insightful message, Mr. Bolt.
Now, let's get back to the main event. The 1 Minute for My Rights competition highlighted engaging videos from talented 12 to 17-year-olds, hailing from Barbados, all the islands in the Eastern Caribbean area, including the British Overseas Territories and Trinidad and Tobago.
Each video passionately expressed their views on a specific right upheld by the Convention. These include
survival and development, protection from violence and neglect, relaxation and play, freedom of expression, freedom from poverty, the right to health and education, the right to an identity.
What a powerful array of topics. Now, let's take a moment to view some of the standout entries we received this year.
Envision a world where children have the opportunity to dream. A world which allows them to do the impossible. But to evolve to such a world, education needs to be the primary focus. And by education, I don't mean just only books or pencils, but freedom, power, and hope. But not every child has that. Key. Education is a right and not a privilege, because every child deserves a seat at that table we call education, where no one is hindered because of their lack of access to knowledge. Therefore, at any level, every child should have the right to education so that they can create opportunities to shape their own future and create a world of innovation.
Shadow of a darkened street, a child walks with bare feet, dreams cut short like whispers lost, count the scars but not the cost. They know the sound of silence loud, the weight of worry wraps like a shroud, eyes wide open, heart so small, yet they stand steady when others fall. Passion flickers like a candle's flame in a world where violence plays its game. Hold tight to hope and let it ignite. They claim their right to safety's light. With every bruise from battles unwaged, resilience blooms as fears are gauged. From abandoned dreams that once took flight, they carve out spaces where there is light. A scream holds power when no one can hear, but they rise from the ashes year after year. For a child's right isn't just a dream, it's a promise made in the softest beam. So hear this tale that must be told. Every child deserves a hand to hold, a future painted in colors bold, where violence fades and love takes hold.
We have rights. How are we even expected to be the future of our society if we can't even have basic education? It is significant that children receive education, not only for the benefit of the society, however for personal development. Children must be able to live a productive and fulfilling lifestyle powered by the knowledge, skills, and moral values learned in academia. Additionally, I believe that education in the Caribbean should be in the same academic scope as international education to break barriers facing academia and establish a firm academic foundation for the children within the Caribbean region. It is every child's right to get an education, no matter their race, gender, social, or financial status.
After watching these inspiring videos, it's evident that our children not only understand their rights, but are ready to advocate for them.
Before we look at the others, we invite you to enjoy a very special song titled For Every Child. This music video was created specifically for this year's Convention on the Rights of the Child celebration. We extend our gratitude to UNICEF Country Coordinator, Mr. Vincent Lewis, for writing and overseeing this beautiful piece.
Please be
That was great. A heartfelt thank you to all the children from our region who contributed to this impressive piece. Now, let's take a look at a few more of the leading videos from this year's competition.
In 2014, violence is just a word in history. Every child is safe.
And this, students, is how we ended violence and creating a world where every child is protected.
But this isn't our reality yet. Children still face problems in their homes, their schools, and their communities. Violence steals the future from children every day. It's in our schools, on our streets, and even in our homes. If we don't act now, this will be the reality of children worldwide. But we can create that safe future. We can protect every child from violence. It's our right. It's our responsibility.
The future starts with us. Let's make it a safe one.
Every child in the world needs an education. It doesn't matter who you are, your race, cultural background, gender, or even disability. The world is an amazing, inspiring place. And what makes it even better is children who can impact it with their creativity, knowledge, and power. Education is essential for success, providing fundamental skills like reading and writing for daily tasks. For us to become successful individuals, education should be compulsory in both primary and secondary schools. Primary and secondary education should be free and accessible to everyone. Basic literacy, life skills, creativity, and imagination. Children can apply them to tertiary education and throughout their entire lives. Every country's government needs to enforce laws so children can obtain an education no matter the excuse. Education is key to success, and we all hold that key in us.
Ever feel like childhood was slipping away? In a world where academics seem to rule, many of us forget what it truly means to be a child. In Trinidad, students feel overwhelmed by schooling. That's pressure. But Article 31 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child says every child has the right to relax and play. It's not just about hitting the books, it's about hitting the playground too. The best leaders, they know how to balance work and play. Focusing on education is key. SDG 4 demands quality education for all. But here's the thing, to truly grow into well-rounded citizens, students must embrace both learning and leisure. When kids play, they express themselves, discover their identity, Article 8, and become the leaders our world needs. After all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So let's make room for play. Schools should implement Fun Fridays where academics take a step back and creativity steps in. That's how we build not just book-smart kids, but innovative, resilient leaders. Work hard, play hard. It's the balance that shapes tomorrow.
Wow, children and young people really do deserve a seat at the decision-making table. They are the future.
And now, here's the moment we've all been waiting for, the announcement of this year's winners. But before we do, we want to take a moment to recognize two wonderful entries that deserve special acknowledgement. These honorable mentions truly impressed us with their creativity and passion.
Firstly, we have Maria Marshall from Barbados, whose video on the environment showed remarkable insight.
A healthy, clean environment can nurture a child's ability to reach their fullest potential. Basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, and clean water are necessary. However, quality health care and a solid education are all required for a child's development. Children require a standard of living that is good for their development. Future development so they can create a more sufficient standard of living.
And our second honorable mention goes to Michaela Brown from Trinidad and Tobago, who creatively addressed the right to education topic in an interesting way.
A wise man once said, "I think, therefore I am. I am who I am within the confines of my body and immediate environment, shaped by family values and cultural norms. And as I take my place in this wider space called the world, I offer the gift of the uniqueness of my being, adding my voice to that universal chorus. Though mellow, it is no less profound, for its tone is enriched with the echoes of my ancestry and the pulse of my geography. I shall not be deterred by opposing cantors bellowing loudly, for within me are organized thoughts that beg to be heard. I must therefore stand for who I am, for I have the right to an identity."
I know every single one of you are at the edge of your seats. So let's review our top 3 winners.
Our 3 distinguished judges, Joanne Tull, Akil Lovell, and Kareem Smith, carefully evaluated over 60 submissions, assessing creativity, content, and technical excellence. A big thank you to our judges for their dedication.
For 3rd place, hailing from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have Noah Campbell with a captivating video on the right to leisure and play. Congratulations, you won a brand new laptop.
Article 41 of the United Nations Conventions of the Rights of a Child states that a child has a right to rest and leisure, to engage in play and recreational activities. But in the Eastern Caribbean and beyond, our right to play and relaxation is often violated. Too many chores, abuse of all kinds which lead to depression, child labor, excessive school assignments and projects, and sometimes just simply being forbidden to play and relax. Playing and relaxation are vital for developing minds. Yes, all play and no work makes Jack a dull boy, but all work and no play can indeed destroy that boy. Protect and preserve our right to play today.
In 2nd place, from Trinidad and Tobago, is Jada Rabjatan. Her fantastic effort awards her the latest Apple iPad.
I had to fix up my life, This heat wave making me realize I can't go to hell. Since I this small, how the classroom hot like fire, but now it's a different kind of heat. My grandchildren burning. How the children go study like that? No progress.
The UNCRC Article 28 says that every child has the right to an education. But this heat affects our quality of education. We need help to beat this heat.
In the news today, how to improve education by beating the heat. Put adequate cooling measures, AC and fans in classrooms, provide cool drinking water available for students, improve the quality of physical infrastructure to restrict sun exposure, such as covered walkways, plant trees for shade and put plants in classrooms to cool the atmosphere. A comfortable classroom and a cool school contributes to a child's better education.
And now, for this year's winner, from the island of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, we proudly announce Patricia Henderson. Her exceptional video has secured her an iPhone 15.
Imagine a world where your voice could change a life. A world where everyone, no matter their background, has the right to speak, create, and connect. That's the power of freedom of expression. But today, millions of children still can't raise their voices. They're silenced by poverty, conflict, and fear. Their ideas, their dreams, locked away. This isn't about words. It's about the freedom to learn, to question, and to grow. When we protect every child's right to speak, we ignite change. stand up, speak out, and inspire us all.
Thank you to all our young filmmaker advocates for their incredible contributions. Be sure to follow UNICEF Eastern Caribbean on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, where we will be sharing the videos from this year's competition.
To every participant, thank you for your creativity and thought-provoking submissions. And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in.
I am Kaylin.
And I am Azara, wishing you a happy World Children's Day.
Every child, regardless of background,
allows them
Walks with bare feet, dreams cut short.
Child's ability to reach their fullest potential.
beyond the primary
Excessive school assignments